hey, look it looks clear over here. And I would think the whole room would be shrouded in the fog for how weird my night has been. It's still going. And it's weird as fuck. God, I mean, at this point, it is really just trying to convince myself I don't need sleep. Like, that is all an illusion. And then this awake, and you can't, and it's not like the voices are all out and you can just tell them to shut up. No, it's inside. There is like, I don't know if it's like my higher self or what the fuck. It is like my higher self talking to me and then talking to other people. Like, I have no idea, because I will talk back. So there's conversations happening. So I would guess it's part of the merging with your higher self. Like, they're very, they talk a lot. They don't sleep. So yeah, that's weird. Maybe it's just because I am aware of that. Maybe everybody has it all the time. It's just I have awareness of things. Like, I hear things that people don't hear. I see things that people don't, like, things like that. And that is all based on just my inner knowing that it's there. So I'm listening for it. And there's other people who are so focused on the game, their situation, their life experience, their role, whatever, that they don't have the awareness. Because that's the thing that trips me out. Like, everybody at this point, it seems like there's not very many spiritual people. There are a bunch of soulless creatures with no morals. That's what it seems like right now. But that's going to be, the light's going to come on, and all of a sudden all their higher selves are going to be like, so what'd you do back there? How you feel about that now? Let's talk about it. It's like, nope, you're going to talk about it nonstop. You're going to hear about it. Well, let's talk about it. Why'd you do that? It's like, you got to get down to, like, just to think about why you did it. You got to go in deeper. That's why it's all there. Because you got to go in deeper, because it's there to bring up stuff. Because you're unaware of stuff that you need to be aware of. That's why everybody seems in the dark. And everybody seems to be like, no morals, no self-respect, no integrity, no ethics, no scruples. Like, all that shit is just like, gone. And it's just so weird too, you know, when you go through these different generations, you know, the one that they want to get rid of, us, because we had the experience of both. We were raised on Daddy Knows Best, and then they turned it into The Simpsons. It's like they did a little spin around. And it was so much pressure. Back in the day, that's what, you know, flipped people out. Was because there's so much pressure. You had to be so perfect. You know, you couldn't even have a bad thought. The devil's inside you. It's like, hey, go to church. You don't go to church. Well, I don't know what you think you're worshiping there, Missy. But you're worshiping the devil. Just head on out. You're lost. You're probably going to hell. It's like this world. God, it's so contained. It's so constricted. It's like, fuck, man. You gotta be strong, man, to stand up to all these people. Most people just don't have it because it just is, they feel bad, but anyways, it's going the way it's supposed to go. So there's no, you know, you can't change that. What you're here to experience is what you're here to experience. What you're going to go through is what you're going to go through. And that's what you're supposed to go through. But there's supposed to be this reflection. That is like what I think I'm showing is like how to go back and look at things. What you need to be looking at. Where your focus needs to be. Where to put your priorities. Taking responsibility for your choices. That has been being driven home hard on me during the night. Let me think, because it was like I kept seeing these two different people and how they looked at the things, the situations, and how it changes everything. Changes everything by your attitude, by how you look at it, what you focus on. And it is totally two different timelines when you are the victim and when you are empowered, when you're taking it on. Like, I came here for this, bring it on, I can do it. And then when you're just beat down and stuff, but all of it is lessons. And all of it is, you know, so much more complex and complicated than we could even, because of all the role play and all of that. The biggest thing is so much stuff that you think is so important that you are weary about, that you're burdened by, like God's gonna judge you. Like, you could go to hell. Like, you don't do right, you may go to hell forever and ever. It's like, we are in hell. The thing that will trap you is not doing right. It will keep you bound to this vibration. And this vibration is hell. I think it's hellacious. It's like we're so many. It's weird because it's the two. It's duality. Because it's got so much hellacious hell parts, like horrible things that happen here. And then you have so much beauty and stuff, but you can't just be somebody who's just focused on the beauty all the time. Oh, I just look at the beauty. That's all I see. Don't bring up the dark. I just see the beauty. The beauty is there, because then you are like, you're so disconnected from your reality, from your space and time, that you're not present. It's like you're not fulfilling. You're not embracing. It's not like you're not encompassing the experience. And yeah, great to have gratitude, but that's not what's all going on here. What's going on here is a lot of bad stuff, hard, horrible stuff. And it is to show each soul's experience that they're rolling through, show them themselves, so that they have to see. But that's why it's important to let go of this idea that they caused it. It's their fault. It's their fault. If they didn't do this, I wouldn't do that. It's like, okay. So, anyways, that's where I talk about, like, you've got to slow down, break it down, and start looking at your movement, what you do, how you react. And yeah, you're going to have these reactions that are just like, so fast you don't even know, because it's this the lower chakra place of reactive. Like, you're just reactive is where you hold your pain and trauma, and all that pain and trauma is just like bah, 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 bah. So somebody pushes it, it's like boom, 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 you know. So you're just like, and it's so automatic that you have to slow down. What am I doing? You know, slow and ask yourself and see yourself, and, you know, try and understand yourself. It's like you got to get out of the drama and just, you know, watch yourself. That's why it's like this observation of self. You got to sit back and watch yourself and slow down. Like what your higher self is doing to you, you got to do that to you. That is where you and the higher self meet up. It's like, okay, yeah, I'm seeing what you're seeing. Yeah, it is like that too. All fucking night. All fucking night. It's a goddamn talking. It's like, okay, I guess I don't need sleep because you don't need sleep. So we'll just talk about it all goddamn night while I can get up and try and go pee. I'm stumbling around. My head hurts. My eyes hurt. It's like, this is some nonsense. Like, God. So there was something else. I swear to God, in like fucking 3 hours, I can get up and go pee 3 times. You can drink 1 sip of copper water and it cleans everything out. Like, I think it's really, really good for you in a lot of different ways, because it just, it is, you know, like what I was talking about yesterday with the toxins and shit getting stuck like in your kidneys and livers, and they've got so many, they're flooding so many. Like, they are banking on it. Like, they want you to come in and get those labs, because most people are going to have fucked up labs. Now, I just feel so good. Like, I mean, to me, it's such a confirmation that this stuff I'm doing is good, because I know we are being fucking blasted all the time with these chemicals. And so all the detoxing and stuff. And the reason I know is because of goddamn allergies. Like this post-nasal drip shit, this I never have all that before. And you can tell it's just like this atmospheric headache. That's what it is. They got the atmospheric river. I got the atmospheric headache, whatever they're fucking doing. And the thing is, too, is where I talk about this atmosphere, where I said, like, sometimes when I go outside, it feels like I can't catch my breath. And even I was out doing something, even here in the house, I'll feel like I can't catch my breath, man. It's like there's not enough air. Like they're sucking the oxygen out, putting in this fog that is condensed with fucking goddamn fiberglass, whatever the fuck they put in their shit. I'm sure it's got all sorts of stuff. Yesterday, I had the same thing happen again where it was like being drugged. It was like in 1 second, it was like, I gotta go to sleep. It was like, you can't even walk. It's like, I gotta lay down. It's weird. And so, and maybe they think people don't notice because so many people drink. So many people come home, they get a drink after work and stuff, and they don't notice, but no, there's something going on. That would make sense that they would blast us at certain times because it would be a lot of people after their long commutes and then get home and they want a glass of wine or have a beer or go meet their friends for drinks or whatever. I mean, so much of our lifestyle has to do with drinking. And think about that too, when so much of it has to do with drinking, because most people drink too much because they carry so much pain. And once they let go of that pain for a minute, it's like, well, that feels good. Let's have another. That feels even better. Let's have a couple more, please. And so then they're just like, it becomes their lifestyle to stop dealing with what hurts them and burdens them and start just going and feel better. And so our society has become heavy in drinkers and drug and stuff. It is so much about just not dealing with your stuff, because even if you quit drinking, if you can get a handle on it, you still have all the stuff to deal with. And then you have all the stuff that you did while you were drunk. And that's the thing, is that in a drunk society, people do stupid shit. They make mistakes. They do dumb things. They do things they're ashamed of. They do things they're embarrassed of. They do things they wish they wouldn't have done, over and over and over and over. And so it makes sense that we had to keep moving the bar down when it's getting heavy in one area, or heavy on the drunk people. Because now, I mean, you see an old lady out with her dress too high and G-string panties and dancing with their drinks in their hand and rubbing up on people. It's just like, fuck, that's daily occurrence. That used to be back in the day. It'd be like, oh my God, she's going to be in the mental institute. What's wrong with her? Now it's just like, fuck, there's 5 of those at that bar. Let's go down and see it. It's just like people have lost all respect for themselves. It's just this desperation is set in society. It's anger. And this desperation, when people look out, they are like, everybody's lower than them, everybody's below them, everybody's like, ooh, yuck, they're so, I'm way above them, I would date them. That's just fucked up, this whole fucking dating pool, this whole hierarchy and weird shit. And the expectation, you got so much weird stuff on there. I don't even know why people are still going to that platform, trying to find love in all the wrong places. It's like that is, it's a lot more organic than that. That what is meant for you will find you. It will come to you. And you don't have to go out and search for it, It will come to you. And you don't have to chase it. Just like that little dog. The little dog that I ran into it a couple times now. A little stray dog, and it seems like it maybe got hurt. I don't know. It seems small, but I can't see that. Like I am having a lot of something going on with my eyes again. Like it's like a film over my eyes or something, and they're filled up again with all of the little floaty things. So when I'm looking down at him and he's so small, it's like it's hard to see But it looks like a small, because at first I thought it was a cat, but it looks like a small dog. Looks like maybe like a Lhasa Apso or something, because it seems like it has like a fluffy tail, but it's shorter hair. I was like, well, did it just get out of its house or something? But it's like limping, but it will not let me get close at all. Even without Stella, it won't let me get close at all. It runs and hides. And that's the thing, is like, it's in somebody's yard. Somebody needs to go out there and start. And I was thinking, well, I could take just some treats or something and leave him out there, so at least he gets that to eat. There's probably no garbage around our neighborhood. I think that there's yards he could probably go find and, you know, find garbage and stuff. And I always put food out, like the squirrels, the birds, the wild cats, and any animals or whatever. I always put food, like when I cook Stella's chicken, then out in the green belt, I'll go throw the chicken carcass out there. And then I put all the scrap, you know, compost stuff out in the garden. Things eat out of that. And then I have my little bird feeder thing, and I feel like they love me. I feel like if somebody came and took this house, like it would be, the energy would not be good for you. Like this house, this place relies on a certain energy. Like it won't work for you probably. So, but we'll see. We'll just see, you know, what the universe has in store. Like, you know, I still don't know. Time is ticking away in my fucking this clock thing, you know. Because there's no time. The only thing is on the phone. And so, because since the stove had gone out, or the oven or whatever the fuck, because the stove works. The oven, like nothing that it says, like it doesn't match. So anyways, I don't know. I just like the dryer, the heat, all this stuff. It's just like everything in my car, all this stuff, everything is going to keep falling apart in this reality. It's like things that hold you back or something, they're just going to fall apart. And if it bothers you, that's what you'll look at. Why am I holding on to that? Why? And it's a whole process. It's not like a simple thing, because that leads you to, you know, the meaning of life. And, you know, there was a lot of stuff that I had to process after my brain injury. And a lot of things that, like, you're scurrying around life and you don't think about. And, you know, and then especially when you're having deficits, and then you're having to deal with that, and then you're having to ask yourself, like, it's kind of like, well, is life worth living? Well, what is life all about? Well, what is the point? Well, what are we doing? Anyways, but I had a whole thing with time and stuff. But now so I hadn't had the battery in there, but I put the battery in so she could see what time it was. And it was so weird because these younger kids are not taught how to read clocks anymore. They're all digital. So she was trying to learn that too. And, I mean, they're just fucking these kids. They're such assholes, man. Such assholes. Like, fuck. The last few generations, they just are, fuck. Teaching them less, making them more dependent, making them more fragile, making them have less skills, giving them more drugs, getting them on more devices. Oh, of course, like, isn't that so special? Your school will give you one. Yeah, take this iPad home. You got to do all your homework on it. And then all of a sudden, well, these kids are addicted. Well, whose fault is it? Whose fault is it? Yeah, it's the parents who handed it to them. Well, then they went to school and y'all did the same thing. So it's a societal. It's what they put through society, what we allowed, you know, and it was for that generation, because a lot of us who were older, we were like, don't do that. Don't just look at that. Get off that thing. What are you doing? Go outside and play. And, but they didn't know what they were losing. And there was this drawing, I don't know what it is. It's an AI thing or something that somebody did, and it was like show kids in these different decades. And so it goes all the way back, you know, and it shows kids always outside playing. In each of these different generations, there was different things. Like there was kids that would just sit and play with those jacks. And there was kids who would go out in their roller skates. And there was kids on bikes. There was like all these different things, but it was always kids out playing, out playing, out playing. And then in 2000, then the kids became more in headphones and looking at their devices and more separated. And then it just became in 2020, just glued to the devices. Nobody have any awareness of anybody else. And then it shows what's to come is just those people just standing around in those virtual realities that they just don't even live anymore. But the thing is too, is they wouldn't even stand. They just go sit and eat some snacks and get sicker and unhealthy and fatter and feel worse about themselves. Their complexion will get worse. Their health will get worse. In their virtual world will become more and more of where they want to be. And look at the simple things to make changes, you know. Get up, put the fucking device down. And that is a habit you have to break. That's an addiction. That is where you'll feel drawn to it nonstop. And you have to, nope. You know, you have to fight that battle. And you have to keep pushing back. No, I'm not going to pick you up, bitch. And then you got to figure out stuff that you like to do. Go outside. You got to start getting that part of you, this creative part of you. There's parts of kids that they didn't give. It's like it's become like a recessive gene kind of thing now. Now it's like it's not something like it's something you had to do to become more creative and stuff. It is like, okay, so like when we were little kids and we were outside playing and stuff and things would happen, you would become more resilient. You would become more smarter. You would have a problem solve. You'd have to figure things out, even if it was to come up with a lie to tell your parents or whatever. And all your friends are like, well, do this and say that, you know, there was this part of you that was learning and adapting and growing and creating and, you know, out of boredom. Well, let's play this and that over there, that's going to be this. And over here's our fort. And you guys are going to, you know, you come up with this role playing and these, you know, all of this stuff. That is a development as a part of you that started creating. It was, I don't know what else to call it, but like a creative development stage of part of a person. And they got that stripped out of them. And so it's not, there's so many things. Because on top of it, this over-sexualized and then spiritually nourished. So there's a lot of things that are out of balance. And so it's created so much chaos for that generation for sure, but it creates so much it impacts in between all the different generations in all different ways, because that's what they did, was to try and make these tweaks to create this division. So everybody's always looking at the next generation. You stupid idiot, just stupid idiot. Oh, you stupid old fogey. You know, everybody's looking back and forth. Like, you don't know. Well, they did all that stuff on purpose, but that's all the things that people have to overcome. It's like you can't be caught up in their game. You have to overcome their stuff and not divide on it, not argue about it. And they have people who are real comfortable in that. Well, us Gen Zers, well, you know, us millennials and the Gen Xers, we're going to go against the Gen Zers and all this stuff. And everyone's against the Gen Alphas, and everyone hates the boomers. So everybody hates the Gen Alphas and the boomers. It's like, oh, these people. Something like, I was sharing this video, and it was, I don't know, I guess a trans person apparently, because they decided that in order to solve society's problems, you just need to start stabbing people who are transphobic. Like, if you're around somebody who's transphobic, just stab them. That's what we need to start doing, just stabbing them all. And the guy who was stitching the video couldn't even believe, like the ignorant, like, that's your way you're going to solve things now? and that's how you're going to fix society. And that's the thing too, is like the people who think this way, everybody has to be like me, or because there's so much of that, like that's going on, so much. And then people saying weird shit, not even thinking it through and stuff. And maybe I do that too. Like, we're all going to get to see, ourselves. But I just had a flash of something during the night. I can't remember though. So anyways, hold on, let me see, what was I talking about? The people, fuck, I don't know. I'm talking about my hair now, I guess. So, I'll tell you one thing is, it's so weird because I didn't even realize, like, that having gray pubic hair, how much that affected me. I didn't really realize anything about it. I remember when I very first got the first gray hair, though, and I was like in my early 30s. I was like, oh my God, how embarrassing. Now my pubic hair is turning gray. Like, what the hell? I'm like, does that mean I'm getting old? And I was like in my 30s. And I can't remember where at, but I know I was in my 30s. And then there's like a couple more and a couple more, it takes pretty long. But now, to go in there, and wipe, and you look down, and it's like, oh my God, I feel so young. I feel so vital. I mean, it's like, it's weird. I wouldn't have even thought it would make me have any kind of feeling or anything. But every time I was like, oh my God, I feel so, yeah, God. So it's weird how, I don't know. But anyways, it's always just these last ones, but it's so much less when I look in the mirror. Like how you can comb it sometimes and you can't even see it. And so, I don't know. It'll be gone when it's gone, but, it's real. Like, what's really happening. And it's not just the hair that turns back into color again. It's all your hair. All your hair. That starts happening first, I think. Well, I think at first, it's like the mineral starts going into your body and your hair and going all over. And then in your hair, so it starts absorbing back into your hair, which starts bringing back into color. But it starts resaturating all your hair with this like richness. It's like your hair just becomes more like richer looking and the color more saturated. Like, I didn't even realize it had looked drained. And then when it started filling back in, I was like, oh my gosh, it's got so much more color, density or something to the color. So that changes, which I even feel like my overall skin, I feel like, has more color in it. Like, when I get out of the shower, and I go to dry off and stuff and the mirror's across, it always look like, gosh, it kind of looks like I got a suntan or something, a little bit of, the skin that has color. Maybe it just still has some sun left or something. And then, I don't know. The parts that had sun, like, I don't know how much that stuff even stays in our skin. And, there's a lot of the processes and stuff that we don't understand, especially because this flesh and blood thing, that was one thing too. It's like I'm constantly being shown things as not being real. Like, I'm not real. Like, that's a big thing to me, is to keep remembering, I'm not real. This isn't real. And it can help you to change the things that you don't like. And so, and this is something I think on the aging thing where it keeps getting shown. I swear to God, there's a fucking worm on this side that is trying to get out. I swear to God. I don't know if it's because I saw it in that video, but I feel like that's what's going to happen. This worm, this big worm is just going to come out. I wish it would hurry up and come out. Maybe I would feel better. Then, so, okay, in the eyebrows thing too, I was seeing that it gets, more filled in and then more darker and stuff. So I think that's going to keep going. I bet you by next year, I swear to God, I think you just keep doing this and doing this. You get back to being like, because last night, yeah, because I was in some sort of dream or something, or someplace where I was at. And it was something about like, you're going to get back to being like where everybody is like kind of like 30 years old. It's just that overall, that's where we get to, is being like 30 years old. It takes a really long time to go past that. Like, there's not going to be the same kind of aging at all. And so anyways, I think like the eyebrows and stuff are going to just keep going darker and darker. And I'm trying to, like, all the different things, like on my eyelashes. Eyelashes are just, they're still, I put mascara on them. Because they're really light. But my eyelashes are, I don't have a zillion of them, and they're light. And they're not super long, so I'm going to keep doing the castor oil and stuff and see if they grow and get longer or whatever. But anyways, whatever it is this. And the skin, I feel like it is. But yesterday, I kept feeling like this hair right here, and so I got out the mirror, you know, the magnifying mirror, to try and see where this hair was. Which, if you have any of these hairs that grow on your face, and I've seen this, like, this is a thing. It's not just me saying this is a thing. But I had gotten it, and I agree, is the spearmint. You can't just put the spearmint essential oil, because that's the same spearmint I use in the toothpaste too. Is you can't just put the spearmint straight on your skin. It will burn the shit out of it. You got to have another oil. So you could use castor oil and then put the spearmint in the castor oil. But using the spearmint over and over and over, any hairs that you have on your face that are rough or rigid or too much hair, it changes that. I don't know what happens. It makes less hair. It changes it. I don't know. I've seen all these people who have PCOS talking about it. Girls that were having full-on whiskers, you know, like that were having to shave or wax or whatever, is those little razor things they got women all hooked on. It's like they're always going to get stubble. If you keep shaving like that, all the hairs are going to start getting more rigid and growing at the same time. They're all the same length and get more darker. And got all these girls with shadows and stuff, but all that stuff can be changed. It's all hormones that are out of balance and stuff. So, but if you have any of those things, the spearmint, and then there's different oils, but you can look it up about it. But and then just put it on your face. Like, I don't even do it every single day. Lately, I've been doing it more. Now, lately, I've been doing everything more. Now, oh, look at the tooth thing. Like, you can tell it's getting more covered for sure. Like, so that seems fast to me too. But it could be that all the minerals start going faster and faster and faster. Because you got to really think about, like, we are this mineral compound of, it's like this light to be able to zoom through to create an image. But the thing is being created from these minerals. And if you're not giving yourself minerals and stuff, then you're becoming depleted and dying out. That's what I think. And so, anyways, anyways, when I got the mirror out to look for this hair, and I was looking down, there is a definite change in my jawline and even the skin on my neck. So the skin is changing, and I don't know if the the minerals are changing, the crepey skin, or if exercises or whatever, or it's just a combination. But I would say keep doing all the things. Keep doing all of the, like these tension things. Like really get in there and massage. It feels good, man. And I put my fingers like this, and it's like these little, I've done this for a long time. I think ever since I was a kid. It just feels good. But now I know it's like good for you too. It's like you relieve all these pressure points in your head. And so rub around and release and get all this tension out of your head and go down. And then there's all this lymph and stuff. There's lymph back here. There's all this lymph. So these pockets of where the fluids are, I think the lymph is kind of like the kidneys or some kind of filtration system or something that, I can't explain the whole thing, but anyways, the lymph is, it has so much to do with sickness. And so if the lymph gets all clogged up, you get sick. And it gets all swollen and stuff. So you want to keep everything moving. It must be just my postnasal drip thing. Ugh, it just drives me crazy too. Let me think. I already drank one of my cups of tea, so it starts moving all that stuff. And it's so good to cough. That is one thing. If you're not coughing in the morning, you need to find something to get you to cough. Like do some jumping jacks or something. Because all of the sediment in your lungs throughout all the gunk that you're breathing in sits down, just goes like, it kind of sinks down in your lungs. It just drops down. That's why these heavier, you know, like smoking weed and stuff that has that denser, I think, smoking cigarettes too, because people who were smoking weren't getting sick because you cough out the particles. So you need to cough it out. But the carrier stuff, I think out of all the supplements, like if I were to tell people like the things that start with, because due to what we have going on, I would say get the burdock root, the mullein leaf, and dandelion tea. And then do something with that. Like you can add a lot more stuff in, but it's expensive to get started on all that stuff. But the burdock root is got so many good things, and it is good for helping you fight for cancer. It gets rid of junk. It adds good stuff in. Like you can look it up. There's a lot of really good benefits with that. The dandelion has so many good ones with the heart. And so we've got so much attack on that. And then also with the lungs, we got so much attack on that. And then all those things will also be like a cleanser or filtration to clean through, because you got to keep this lymph and the kidneys, everything really clean, because we have got so many toxins. And you get bombarded, you're going to get sick. And then the toxins, like if your kidney is like so full and they start breaking free and going into other places, that's where you start getting tumors and cancer and shit. And so you got to keep the system clean. And then recognizing the little tweaks that you need to do, like, you know, what you need and what bothers you and what makes you sick. And, you know, you may, like a lot of people may not need a whole bunch of copper water, you know, and if you are negative blood, you know, you may want to look up and see, because there may be some other minerals that'll make you feel a lot better. So, that's the thing is, you know, finding what minerals work for you. Because I keep trying to think of all the ones, because now I'm taking a bunch, because now I'm all into this to see. And, because I have some zinc. And so I got the selenium, the magnesium, the vitamin D. I did the boron. And it seems like that there was something else. And then the copper, drinking out of the copper. Maybe that is all. vitamin D, the magnesium, which those two have to go together with the body. And I also heard that you got to have some kind of fermented, but I drink the kombucha. But there's something that some people say you got to have also something with fermented in your diet. But you need that for your gut health anyways. Like, you need to be adding in things that are good for you, not just, you know, that taste good. Everybody's got to get away from that stuff about it just tastes good and get more into, well, you're not here for the taste. You're here for the energy. You're here for the health benefits. You know, you're here to feel good. You know, having a fancy caramel latte every morning, and, you know, if you had mud water or something that was actually had some stuff in it to make you feel good, then you'd probably have a very different kind of day. And your health would improve. You'd start feeling better. So it's, each person has to start recognizing, like, oh man, I want to feel better. I don't want to just, you know, have that wonderful caramel taste in the morning. I want to feel better all day. So start doing things like, I don't know, like coffee drinkers. There's a few different things, because there's Ryze, RYZE. There's a mud water. And even, I guess, mud water even has a chai tea one. Now, though, you know, when I was looking for them, all I could see was coffee ones, so I just did my own. And so I have a whole bunch of different ones, because there's lots of different ones you can take, lots of supplements you can add in, and it feels so much better. And let me think. Because there's ones that improve your mood, there's ones that improve your blood pressure, there's ones that improve your blood, like the density of it, you know, to get your blood cleaner and moving through and stuff. So all those different things are like in plants. The stuff they give you, the artificial chemical stuff, is so weird, because it's like they're purposely disrupting other parts of the system. And there's so much coming out right now too, like with Benadryl, and that they knew about this stuff, and it was causing Alzheimer's, and there's a whole thing with this choline or something, and but how they give you something and then that stops the production of choline. That's not even what it's for something else, but then the production of choline stops. So it's this whole thing, and that's what all their drugs do. And don't forget, they spend hours, I mean years, scientists spend years and years looking over these drugs and over them. They know how these things work. It's like they do this on purpose, so you need another drug. They depend on you needing another drug. And they enjoy you just being sick through the whole thing. And us dying is them winning, because then we played their game. We didn't catch on. And so, but now that the tables are turning, you know, we are catching on, we are seeing. And, okay, so let me see. I finished about that. So on the supplements, and so yeah, on the toothpaste thing, as definitely with the minerals, and then and the coconut oil, and then leaving it on there, and then swishing around, leaving it on. Don't just brush your paste on and then scrub your teeth and gums and stuff and do all that. Like, I'm not doing any of that anymore. And it just put it on, like how the dentist, when you go get your teeth cleaned, and she puts on the stuff at the end. And she's like, oh, the polishing. Well, we're going to polish your teeth now. So put on that, just like she does with the polishes. Put it on all your teeth. And all your teeth will look black and kind of a little grimy. And it'll feel a little grimy. The spearmint or whatever you want to put in for flavor. You can put cinnamon. You got to figure out what flavor you like. And then, and maybe the cloves. But cloves can be pretty hot and spicy. But so, but cloves are good for your gums and stuff, so you should put some cloves in it. And so then leave it on there, and then it'll start getting wet and stuff, and then just start swishing and swishing and swishing and swishing. And keep swishing and swishing as long as you can until it just grosses you out, and then spit it out. And look, I have seen you can look up all the testimonials on oil pulling. I mean, there's people who were drug addicts whose teeth were jacked, who brought their teeth back. So don't think wherever you are, you can turn things around. and on the face thing. So I was already doing some of that face yoga thing because of this, this tightness. That was one thing too. It was all night long, all night long. Oh, this is what it feels like to be relaxed. This is what it feels like to, because I just tightens like so automatic. And that is like the same kind of thing as like what I'm talking about for the kids with the addiction to devices. It's like anything you're trying to change, you have to become hyper vigilant, hyper aware of it, and then keep reminding yourself to stop, stop, stop. And I've done this ever since I was a kid on stopping things. And so even when I was a teenager and I was like 16 years old, and people are always like, oh, it's so hard to quit smoking. It wasn't at all. I just, every time that I had the urge, I would say, nope, stop, nope, stop, nope, stop. And so you got to do that. You just tell it to stop. And you just keep fighting the urge. Some people just, they have a weakness and they give in to the urge. I just fight against it. But so the, on this tightness is like, oh my God. And I think I have held on to this tightness in my jaw. I swear to God, I probably, since I was like 1.5 years old, 2 years old, like that, like, oh, what's about to happen? What's about to happen? Oh, all the motherfucking time. Like, I'm making cookies and I'm doing it. It's like, what's about to happen? The cookies are going to get cooked and you're going to eat them. That's what's going to happen. It's not fucking to worry. It's like I got constantly like, relax, man, relax. And that's where I do this, like, get it to relax and then keep telling myself, okay, this is what it feels like to be relaxed. This is what it feels like to be relaxed. And so keep pushing down on this. But so I have been doing all these like weird exercise things because this muscle will cause that TMJ and stuff. My jaw was popping out. And so it's, you know, and it hurts, man. It hurts so bad. And so I have been doing all these like rubbing and stuff back here. So now after watching that Russian guy, it is like, this is a place where lymph is, where you got to move that through. And so I've got, I'm sure, years and years of lymph and no telling what all is trapped here because it is so, like, it hurts all the time. It's so tight. So I'm fighting that battle to loosen this. And so I do all these like weird, you know, trying to loosen it and stuff like that. So I have been doing those, I would say, for like a month. But I've been doing a lot more since I watched the lymph guy. So every single day, doing it purposefully. These, like, especially the one where hold your tongue at the top of your mouth and tip your head back and then move your jaw and you'll feel it tighten. And so I mean, you guys can look for yourselves and decide, but I really feel like that my jaw is getting tighter. And I say, like, and it's weird too. It's like, man, because my cheeks were so, it's like, man, would that all come back? Like, push it back up and it just goes, whoop. I don't know. I don't know. But I just keep pushing it. But like this little bit would be the one part that I'm watching to see, like, does that get tighter? Does that go back? Like, I don't know. But definitely this gets tighter. So, and don't forget while you're doing all these, like, exercising your face and rubbing it and stuff, you know, pushing everything back. And that, to me, is helpful to keep remembering you're not flesh and blood. It's like you keep thinking of yourself like a piece of clay. You know, you're pushing everything where you want it, pushing it back, push it where you want it, push it. And to me, I talk to myself all the time. And so I'm always telling myself to, you know, show me what I need to see, release, you know, old stuff, and remind myself of good stuff. And so do a whole little talking to myself. But all of this rubbing and all this exercising and then using, to me, natural oils. Like, I use the castor oil, spearmint oil, and yesterday I put some butter stuff on it. It's like a whole bunch of different butters, like shea and stuff. Is how I put some of that. So I'll do that sometimes, but usually every day, a couple times a day, I put castor oil on. I'll just rub it all over my whole face, all over my whole eyes, just rub it everywhere. And then when I rub it, when I'm rubbing it in, that's when I'll do like the exercise things and, you know, rub and push. And so you start finding really sore spots and keep pushing and rubbing to get the tension. And, you know, no matter how deep the wrinkles are, just remember, it's like it's something you're holding on to. And so just keep releasing it. Keep picturing your face like clay too. And you're pushing it back, pushing it back. And each day, keep doing that. Don't just think, okay, well, I'll push it back and I'll go and I'll see. It could take, you know, a few weeks, a few months. I think do some pictures every week. Take a picture of yourself every week. And I bet you by 6 months or a year, you're going to be shocked at the difference. So that's why that is a part of where they have everybody, well, it's got to be instantaneous. I'm not going to do it unless I have results immediately. It's like, no, if you want something, you got to do it all the time. That's how you become good at something. Keep practicing, keep trying. And so it's the same thing with your health and stuff. You got to chip away. It's like, fuck, this all started for me such a long time ago. Is the head injury, the brain injury was 09, February 09. So it was right at the beginning. And then the colitis, I was like 2015 or 2016. And I was so sick. That's probably when I had the Hep C. And right before that, I had the Epstein-Barr. Like, I was being so sick. And all these things now that I'm seeing, like, I was curing, I kept doing it myself without medical intervention. And they want us to get all reliant on them. But everything, they would always catch it after. Like, I would go in and then they would, look at the Epstein-Barr thing. She was doing whatever, the yearly physical thing or something. And you know, they pushed on all these things. Well, they're checking lymph when they're doing that. They're going to areas where lymph is. So they're pushing and they're checking. And so I had some that were swollen. And she said that those ones are never swollen unless you have this certain sickness. And so she did the blood test. And it showed the same thing as the Hep C thing. I had the antibody. I had showed that I had it. But I had healed myself. And so all these motherfucking things that they always are wanting you to come in so they can heal you. All they want to do is get you on their shit. You got to let your body do the healing. Just like this I don't want to say anti-aging. Just like this reversing your aging. So it is not going to be instantaneously. So don't get frustrated and beat down and sad and feel like, oh, I've just gone too far. Just go little by little. Make changes. Know your direction. You're headed back towards your health, back towards, and you'll automatically start going back, aging backwards when you're taking care of your health. You'll start getting better and better and better because you'll start taking care of it in a different way than how they want you to. And so, you know, the detoxing, which I was doing so much of that before. So I've been detoxing for a long time. Then adding in all of these different things that are good for you, which is way more recent. And then all of the parasite cleansing that I've done over the past year. 2 years. Because I started that before we went to the quantum healing bed thing. Because you had to detox before that. And Stella was so bad then. Like, anybody who is just now watching does not even know the roller coaster has been with Stella and her health issues. And how sick she was 2 years ago. When she had that, I think it was a stroke. I don't know what else, or she had some kind of a brain tumor, something over here that like a stroke. And so I think it's something that she had like that. And that morning too, I had because she couldn't get up. She couldn't get up or anything. And I was crying. Oh, it was horrible. And then just push through and push through. But now I have her off of all the kibble, which, she didn't have kibble her whole life. Because when she was little, I was already making their dog food. And so I was doing that for a long time, but then I kept thinking, like, well, maybe she's more hungry. And so I started doing, eventually I started doing some kibble, and then still making the food, but giving them some kibble. So that, because I kept thinking, maybe it has good stuff in it. No, I don't think so anymore. I think it's all bad stuff. But, so I got her completely off of that. The horse paste is definitely, I feel like, if your dog is having any health issues, I would do a week of that and see the improvement. I think there was a huge improvement. I'm definitely going to keep doing that Tramaxol or whatever it was, whatever somebody had told me about that stuff. And I think, like, she had this big cyst on the back of one of her legs. It's been there for so long. It seems to be shrinking. Even all of her skin stuff is all shrinking and going away. And her coat and the smell of her coat, like, everything seems to be improving with her skin for sure. And so I'm going to keep doing the parasite cleanse thing for sure, because you know, dogs, I'm sure, is going to get a lot of them. And because she likes to drink the outdoor water. And, you know, I'm sure squirrels drink out of it, and whatever drinks out of it. And so on her, the turkey tail, and I just got the vitamins that are just the human ones, and I just put 2 in her thing in the morning and 2 in the evening, and that is a huge improvement. Like, she's not just sitting there licking her legs and licking her legs. She still is getting whiny sometimes and complaining, but I'm not sure. And I'm also kind of working on her with that of, you know, stop whining. Like, don't do that. And so I don't know, she's starting to, like, I hope I'm not just, you know, not letting her have a voice when she's really in pain, but it's like, okay, you have got everything going on now. Like, and she's out running around. She eats nonstop. Like, oh my God, all the time. She's eating so much. And she's getting bigger, but she's happy. She's busy. Like, she is much more active and jumping around and stuff and getting excited. So anyways, let me think. And then also the thing she gets is when I drink my tea in the bottom at the little sludge part. So she gets some honey. Honey's supposed to be really good for them. And then she gets all of that stuff, like the burdock root and dandelion and mushroom, and all mine too. And so she gets that every day too. So all those things, though, is huge. I was thinking, like, man, that would be wild. Like, what if we got our dogs to be living like 20 years? Like, all their shit has all been lies. So we can, I don't know. I'm just going to keep doing this stuff and trying to take care of her and see where it all goes. Same with my health. I'm just going to keep going in the same direction and keep, you know, trying to tell people to, you know, to make the changes in their life. And, but a lot of it has to do with you emotionally and spiritually and stuff. Like, it all goes together, mind, body, spirit. And so while you're trying to take care of your health, you're going to have issues that'll come up from your past, from your pain, your trauma, and you need to process through those. Those are part of what you're holding on to and in your body and stuff. So you process through them. And when you're processed through them, make sure and rub them out. Push that stress, like, oh, it comes up. And don't feel bad if you sit, you know, for a day or two and cry. You know, let it go. Let it all come out. Cry. Let go of the things that make you sad and the things that hurt you and all that, you know. And it's like this whole process, and it all goes together. And, you know, then just keep chugging away. But I really think take pictures, because that is where you look. I couldn't believe it when I saw that Shilajit guy the other day. I can't think of his name. Modern Shaman. That's what it is. I think he's on Instagram and TikTok. He might be on Twitter too. But his name's Modern Shaman. And he has a big following. His following started growing a few years ago. But he talks a lot with parasite cleanses. But I remember like a year or so ago where he's like, I'm getting younger. I'm getting younger. And then when I saw him the other day, I was like, oh my gosh, he has no gray hair. It looks so much younger. So much younger. So yeah, don't, even if it just seems like, oh my God, this is pointless. It's been a month. I don't see much difference. Don't stop. Just, you know, maybe add in some more, maybe do some more research, maybe see if you need to take something different, you know, just try and keep thinking. You're your own science experiment. You're your own study. You know, you are trying to figure you out. And there was something that I had wanted to talk about too, that I had been seeing that I kept forgetting, but there's more and more and more and more videos coming about it. And to me is what shows of what I've been talking about. Like everything is realities and realms. And so there's places up in the sky that people are seeing. Like there's other cities. There's one looked like a boat or something up in the sky or something. There's all sorts of stuff. There's all sorts of things that people are getting. Over in Pakistan too, there was like it was like 2 suns and then another planet. Then that was one picture, but then there was another one where there was more. So I don't know if somebody's bucking with the pictures or what, but there keeps being more of these planets and stuff. Like all this stuff is going to show, but it's all different realities and realms. It's like if the lights went out and came back on and you saw what was really there, it's like it's like the only thing I can think of is like something that you've seen in movies, and it is like, it's like space agey kind of, because it's like these different realms. But the thing is like you think that this is your sky or something, but it's not a sky for somebody else. There's like another place that somebody else is living in, another world. So there's like other worlds around us that are going to be seen. That's why they can't like do nukes and stuff, because it affects all these other realms, like the fairy realm or the fae realm or whatever. All these different realms where all these different beings and stuff exist. You know, yesterday too, I had this thing that came to me, because I was like, and I think I've talked about this before, but it came in, the way it hit me again yesterday, I was like, oh yeah. But I don't know, maybe have the same epiphany over and over. But the people, like, so we have all the people here, you know, in this time of ascension. There's a lot of people, you know, they just want to go home to Jesus and that kind of stuff. They're just waiting on Jesus. And so I was thinking, so for those of us who are here for this ascension and working on ourselves and stuff and becoming our higher selves, but it's almost like all these people who want to go home to Jesus, I was like, is that because that's their higher self? Are they all aspects of Jesus? They were birthed out, and then they all calling them all home. They all want to just go home, because like how I had said before, like there'll be all these people who go back to their planet or whatever, you know, in Jesus planet, like Jesus higher self, the Jesus spacecraft, the Jesus territory, whatever, you know, if that is what they're all have this, because they're all from the same place. They're all from the same higher self, you know, and it kind of is like, so if you just go back to your higher self, like, see, everybody's not here for ascension. Everybody's not here to become it's like becoming yourself. It's like becoming who you are, separate from, it's weird too, because it's like your higher self is there, but it's not like the higher self is trying to take you over. Like I said, it's more like Mr. Maggia or whatever, some kind of, you know, Gurasapa, here's the way, the path forward. You know, that you have this voice of wisdom that's walking around with you, through the day, showing you and telling you and then giving you insight and talking to you all night because it doesn't sleep. So you have this side of yourself, this higher mind that comes in to calm the childlike self and walk them through to get them to a place. But once we go through this ascension, see, you stay this person. And I'm not saying like you are stuck, you never get to incarnate again, you have to be this person forever. But it is like, there's something about, you know, like you wouldn't just go back to your higher self. You are becoming your own higher self, I think, is how I perceive it, is how I take it. So there's this, but your higher self isn't mad at you and being like, oh, how dare you trying to go off for me. No, it's like it's there trying to assist you because you're an extension of it. You're a reflection. It's like this whole thing. Like I said, everything is like an extension of everything else in the micro macros, the generations, everything is a part of everything else. So you are energetically, for the higher self, you are an advancement, because now the higher self can spread itself more. It can do more. Like, and I think that there's some higher, like there's some beings that are already their higher self. Like you already have some higher selves down here that already have gone through this. They've already become themselves. And then they're down here to help teach others how to become themselves. So that's where you get this idea of like these earth angels and stuff, because they've already advanced. They've already become their higher self before. And so then they're going to help people learn how to become their higher self. And so it is, if I'm understanding, that's how it seems. That's what I'm picking up on. So your higher self, it's like your higher self is helping you to become more. And then so you have your higher self helping you from the inside. Then in the reality, there's other beings that have already done it, coming to help to talk people through it, to explain how to do it, so you can move through the ascension and develop yourself. And it's becoming more, to me, it's there's this clarity of self, this advancement of you, a clarity of an individual. Now, I don't know, like, if that means, like, you'd have to have every single, like, you could have no problems whatsoever. Because to me, it's kind of like, there becomes a point where you just start, like, things don't bother you like they used to. They don't seem like problems. They don't seem like, it seems like, oh, well. Even when I look at all of the crises and all the horrible stuff that's going on in the world, then it's like, that's that soul's thing. That soul came in to do that. That's their business. And that, to me, is a part of the advancement of your spiritual side, is to not be so connected in this place. The thinking that all this is real. To understand life on this other, more spiritual part, so that you can, because all these souls, all these spirits, this is their stories. This is their lessons. This is their consequences, their catastrophes. It is all their stuff. And there is such huge ones playing out. Like, there's anything that people are connected to. So even if someone's way over here, but they're just completely focused on what's going on way over here, and watching every little bandage get put on every little toddler and every horrible thing that happens, they're still in a group together. Like, they're still in a learning group. It doesn't have to be like your neighbor. Like all of you guys, people I haven't ever even met, we are all in a learning group together. Like we all know each other on some level already. It isn't like, it is more of a finding and remembering, you know, what you're on your wavelength or something. But it is, you know, the people who have found me, it's not by accident. It's not by coincidence. It's meant to be. What's meant to be will always be. And the people who come across me, you know, I come across their feed. That is because, you know, we're in a storyline together. We're sharing a storyline. And so, you know, it all has, it's like all of our souls have an intersection here. And so, you know, it can be from different lives. It can be from, you know, I mean, we could all be from the same kind of place. It can be from all different things. There can be other people that you are meant to run across. Like it's, but anyways, we are all a part of a learning group. So it's not by accident. Just like these people who are learning all these things, they can be thousands and thousands of miles apart, but energetically they're connected through the lessons because they're learning from things from each other. So it's, well, there is things that the people over there are learning too, because there is, but there's just, the thing is there's just so much lies about so much stuff. Even like, I mean, this is how absurd the lies are. They even get Joe out there now trying to blame the crisis border on Trump. It's like, this is where people have to see. Like, politicians are such rotten pieces of shit. They just lie. They don't care. They'll just say whatever. Like, and I mean, there could be people who believe that too. That believe the nonsense. They can just say whatever and people just believe it because they said it. It's like, no, you gotta pay attention. Like, that's not all, but the absurdity is building and building on this whole thing. And then Tucker went and did some big interview with Vladimir, and it's on Tucker's website. It's going to be very telling, I'm sure, because he's going to be telling the truth about the cabal, I'm sure. And then it's going to also be on Twitter, supposedly unedited. So you can find that interview. And it's going to be more just disclosure. And all this stuff is, all the disclosure just keeps coming and coming and coming and coming and coming. Like it's coming so fast. It's like churning. You can't, you would have to become so cut off from everything to not start seeing it. Yeah, it's like it's going to be so in people's faces. And there's going to be more and more and more with this. What was that? There was something at the border. They're using that whole thing to create so much drama. But there is people who are being like, this is ridiculous. Like, you guys, like, there's still people, this whole Hawaii thing's never been fixed. The Ohio thing's never, we've got so many things going on. People in Ohio still don't have clean water. There's still missing kids. There's still people who are homeless. I mean, that's in every one of these storms too. The Hawaii one though has so much to do with land and them taking it from the indigenous people. Like, it's a part of showing what they do, how they work, what they've done always, and you know, kill them and take their land, and it's, you know, you get them down to weak numbers, don't give them a voice, isolate, always, you know, shut them away in a ghetto or something. Like, I'm so glad that this is all switching. I'm so glad that we get to the other side of this thing. It's like, fuck. Like, God. So, there's just so much negative and so much, it's just a sad. I just don't see how people don't understand. Like, where people think there's a place worse than this. Like, they think there's a worse place. Like, if I say that to my mom, well, yeah, way worse. It's like, luckily you won't go there, because, I don't know, I was baptized one time, so that saved me. It's like, oh my God, they've got you so twisted up in their fucking story. Their fucking story of lies and bullshit. Have you so controlled and contained. You have to let yourself out of these boxes. You have to stop being contained by what they tell you. I saw Deron yesterday for a minute live, and it was pouring and pouring and pouring. And there wasn't a lot of people in the street or anything, but right in LA where he was, it wasn't water in the streets. I don't know what's going on today or what went on during the night, but he was talking about all the malarkey and stuff, and he was saying there's so much bullshit going on with cops right now, and just a lot of bad stuff. I don't know, there's just shoot first and ask questions later or something. He said it's just nonstop, this crazy stuff keeps going on. And, you know, he was getting mad about it. And then he started talking about being mature and bills and credit scores and how bad he was doing and all that stuff, and how he had to clean his life up and become more mature. And I was just like, oh my God, look at that, how they market it. Being responsible, mature, having a credit score, buying a home, going in debt, having a lot of loans. That's mature. That's responsible person. That's a person on the road to success right there. It's like, so all these kids feel this burden. You know, they've got to get out there and do all this to make their lives. They got to become grown-ups and responsible. Got to have a good credit score. It's like, man, they just fuck everybody. It's, you know, the credit score. Well, you know, that would be for some people. Be like, oh my God, I put so much time and effort into my credit score. Now look, everything collapsed, and it means nothing, because it never meant anything. It was always a game. They were always just keeping you chasing something. So, you know, that's their game. Keep you chasing something. And right now, what they have everybody chasing is like serenity, I think. I think we have got so much chaos and so much fear. And you know, all these people, you know, more and more people are catching on and saying that, you know, stop playing into their hands. That, but also feeling the pressure that we need to do something. But the thing is that people need to do, that they don't want to do, is change your lifestyle. Stop buying their shit. Stop. I mean, we have got to pull free from their stuff. There will be, you know, a lot of us who have been, and that will edge in the collapse, you know, because then we are not giving them any structure to hold on to. The people who are giving them everything to hold on to, it's going to fall on top of them. And those of us who have been letting go, you know, we can jump back as it falls down and watch it fall, but it's going to be falling on the people who have been trying to hold it up. And so it's going to be, you know, it's all something that you got to let go of. And all this financial has all been a trap, and to hold people and to control them. And so the financial, and it's got to be so close, like every week. Like, it just is so crazy, because every weekend it could be like, could happen then, it could happen then, but it just drags out and drags out. And every time it drags out, it's like, okay, well, there's more shit they got to show. There's more stuff to wake people up. And it just is like, there's just so much, man. Like, Joe out there, it's Trump's fault we got a problem with the border, and we're going to do this. It's weird shit. And Vladimir, like, all, it's just hitting hard with all these things coming in, all this shit in the sky. Like, you can't get away from it. And then on a personal level, like, I even said to my daughter, she was talking about something. Oh, she was talking about this weird thing. I've heard a few different people have some real weird things happen at the gym. There's a lot of some weird gym stories. But so she was at the gym, and she was like, it was so weird. And I think it was a woman, but she kept screaming and screaming and yelling, doing all this stuff. And my daughter said it was so you know, anybody has PTSD, every time someone screams, you're just like, and it's at the gym, and this woman was screaming out like a whole bunch of weird shit. I don't remember what all she was saying, and how uncomfortable she was, and she even went and told the owner, like, this is whatever was going on. It was real weird, and I said, well, people are losing it, and they can't hide it anymore. Like, you can see right through people, and she was like, I know what you mean. So there's parts, see, like the awakening is so, it is like insidious. It's like it creeps in. And so it very much creeps in. So all these people are like, oh, they're never going to wake up. They're never going to wake up. That's your weakness. That's where you don't understand spiritual stuff. You don't understand what's going on here. It is this slow awakening. It doesn't matter if they don't have to see everything that you saw about the government and about the medical and stuff. Because everybody's awakening is their own unique thing. What they're supposed to awaken to, what they're supposed to learn, what they're supposed to experience, is so that they can to let go of their own stuff, what they need to. But yeah, the awakening, it has all to do with your connection to this other realm, this spiritual realm, this part of the world that you are really a part of. What is real is that part, the thing where you go to when you die, the place that you really exist. This is, it's like you go on vacation, and then you're at the vacation place, and then they tell you, well, this is all there is. There's nowhere to go. This is it. This is all you have. And then they start making a disaster. And it is, no, this is not your home. You have a place you go when you leave here. And you aren't even really someplace that you think you are. It's all so much more. It's so much bigger and so much smaller all at the same time. It's all so much. There's just so much. And so much of, you know, come here, Stell, come here. I want to see if I can get you to see her. Come here, beautiful, come here, right here. Yesterday I was sitting over there crocheting. Oh, my shirt I'm making right now is a fucking art. It's an art project. Like, I want to show it so bad because it's so damn cute, but it's not done. So I gotta keep it, and it's just like taking a long ass time. It's like a 50-hour shirt, but it's like an art project. I think it's so cute. I can't wait to show you. But anyways, she's not gonna come over here. So, anyways, and I don't know what the hell. Like, I put on the filter came yesterday. I put mine on, and didn't do shit. Like. That, you know, wasn't expecting a lot. Like, I'm sure we probably have to spend $100 to get a good filter. But, and then I was even like, oh my God, and it came from China. Probably had to run 5 hours before you even put it under your head. Like, no telling. So, I don't know. Maybe it'll improve after a couple more washings or something. But I'm going to have to change off of that shampoo bars again. I'm not a fan. I'm not loving this castor oil shampoo bar. But, but this whole sebum thing or something, it just is like getting so, I washed it, it's just like a few hours ago, and I've already put stuff on it and stuff, but it starts like this oily, and I don't know if it, and my face isn't that oily. It's like, that was weird. So I feel like either it's reacting to something in the environment, or the shampoo bars, but I'm not, so anyways, anybody has any recommendations of some really natural shampoo stuff, let me know, because I'm gonna have to change something, and I don't want to just use shampoo. I don't want to use those detergents and strippers on my hair anymore. So, but I've tried the apple cider vinegar, my hair turns weird. I tried the honey, my hair turns weird. I swear, I thought last year when I was during the summer, but I was not over here. See, there's something weird with my water too, because I was in Spokane, and I was just, I was getting so sweaty. I was out working, and then I would just go in and washed my hair with water, and it was like my hair was good. It was great. And now, and then I come back here and it's like, fuck, man. I don't know. But anyways, I don't just, if I just did water, it would, it's like an oil slick or something is in my hair. I don't know. It's weird. It's like, there's so many things that keep pushing me and pushing me from here. It feels like yesterday I got a thing in the mail, and you remember the smart meter situation where they just crossed right over. They didn't give a shit if it said do not trespass or anything. Just came right through a closed gate, came into my yard, and started changing my meter out. And then Stella was barking or something, so I went and looked. And he's just over there, just busy working on my house, all friendly, just chatting away. I was like, hell no. Take that off and put my other one back on. And so then I was talking about that, and people said, well, they're going to charge you more. And so yesterday I got that in the mail. So it's this whole big, serious papers from the energy place. It's got a tariff. It's got all these legal papers. They cannot read my they don't have the ability to read this anymore. And they've got to make all these special accommodations or something. And so, of course, I'm going to have to pay more. If I don't want to be radiated right in my own fucking house, but you're going to have to pay a lot more. And so I don't even know. I was just so frustrated because I wanted to do solar, but you can't have solar in the forest because you don't have a sun. So then I don't even know where I'd put my windmill if I was going to try. So I don't even know. Yesterday I was like, okay, what if I just had no power? What would I do? And so I was thinking about that. Okay, well, I'd still have to cook food. I wouldn't have to keep food in a fridge. I could live without a fridge, I guess. I could live without, like, you start, I don't even know. Like, I mean, all these things are coming anyways. We're going to have all these things changing. It's not like we're going to go back to the primitive times, but I think this reevaluating of what it is we need and what it is we don't need and why we need it and why we don't need it and stuff, that's all it is that kind of process of awakening to reevaluate, to prioritize, because then we're going to get into, or we're going to do a quantum leap. We're going to take this big jump. It's so weird because so many people are just waiting for impact. They're just waiting for, and I don't know what all we're going to be impacted with, but I know that it's going to be like this, you know, we're sliding into tragedy and it's going to go whoop and go the other way. And that's going to be like, it's going to just throw people. But that is going to be our quantum leap forward. And the people who are going to be thrown are all going to be people who are holding on for dear life. That's why I keep saying, let go, let go, let go. All the things, you know, no matter what it is, just keep letting go and letting go. And so, I don't know if I finished talking about what I was about to say. Well, anyways, I probably said it yesterday and I'll probably say it tomorrow. So anyways, we'll end this today here. I'm sure there was more things. There's so much stuff. There's so much stuff going on. There's so many things. There's so much supernatural stuff, you know, but it is exciting, and we are going into this big quantum thing, and we will have this big leap, but we're going to go into such advancement in technology. I don't think we're going to have like little fridges and stuff. I don't even think we're going to eat the same. Like, everybody's all concerned about, like, I think it will be like a step, but I think eventually we're going to go more into like Jetsons, like get a pill and take it and that's it. So anyways, we will. And what, it's 3:30. This is what time she starts eating now. Like, this is when we start eating our first meal. She'll have 4 or 5 meals through the day. Like, this girl. Okay, I hear ya. Okay, so I'm gonna go make another cup of tea. Oh, and yesterday I made cookies with the cookie butter. They make good cookies, but it's way too many ingredients on there. I wouldn't do it again, but it did make good cookies. So they taste kind of like those cowboy cookies or something. And on those ones, I just scooped out the butter stuff, put 2 eggs, put flour, sugar, baking soda, salt, and vanilla. It's like simple. You redo the same thing with all those butters. You don't have to do all that other stuff. You don't have to add in butter. You don't have to add in chocolate chip. Well, you can add in chocolate chips if you want. I'm trying to get away from the chocolate chips because they're fucking wax. They're not even, like, all this shit. Like, It's so weird. Because the more you realize you're not real, nothing's real. It's like, nothing's real. We're not real. Nothing's real. It's all a game. We're all just here because we think we're here. So anyways, work on you and have a good, productive day. And, you know, and stay loving yourself. That's the big thing. Don't make this hard. Don't make this like you're a monster and you don't deserve. No, you're learning that you do. You do deserve everything you want. You deserve to have the life you want. And so, you know, make it fun. Don't be hard on yourself. And it's going to be, you know, there's going to be some hard things to face yourself. So don't, you know, just learn to be gentle. Gentle with yourself. The more gentle you can be with yourself, the more gentleness you'll bring into the world. So anyways, love yourself, love everybody, and have a loving day, and I'll talk to you in the morning. Talk to you tomorrow.